At 10:07 a.m., a lawyer marched into my office, his bespoke suit sharp and his face radiating smug confidence, gripping a manila folder as though it were a weapon primed to fire. Without the courtesy of a knock, he spoke. "Mr. Hale," he said, his voice dripping with something far from polite. "Your wife has begun divorce proceedings. She seeks full custody, the residence and all joint possessions." He set the documents on my desk, tapping them twice, as if finalizing a judgment. "She's been well advised," he added with a smirk. I studied him closely, his expensive timepiece, his practice sneer. I recognized that arrogance. It mirrored my own in years past. He leaned in, his tone dropping to a hushed, conspiratorial whisper. "Your children want no part of your legacy." That moment, his eyes sparkled with triumph, delivering lines he believed without question. I responded with a calm smile, reached into my drawer, and retrieved a pristine, unmarked white envelope. "Pass this to your client," I said softly. His confidence wavered for a moment before returning. "What's in it?" he inquired. "Balance," I replied simply. He left, chuckling under his breath. I leaned back in my chair, gazing at the city skyline through the window. At 45, I'd never known such peace, certain the game had reached its conclusion. For 21 years, I'd fulfilled my duties. Husband, father, breadwinner. I crafted a life around her, Lydia. The woman who once wandered barefoot into our bedroom with coffee, her smile glowing before wealth entered our lives. "You make me feel safe," she'd said years ago. Safe. It's odd how love can wield that word like a shackle. The first fracture in our foundation emerged 2 years earlier, subtle at first. Her phone turned into a fortress, passwords shifted, and the faint scent of unfamiliar cologne lingered on her coat. I brushed it off as paranoia until proof surfaced. One night, her phone lit up with a name I recognized, Mercer, attorney. The same man who stood before me now. I didn't confront her. Instead, I observed, noting the rhythm of her betrayal. Her lies had a pattern, late-night work, trips to her mother's, and then the receipts. Hotel reservations under his assistant's name. Yet the real treachery wasn't the affair. It was the calculated plan. A discarded flash drive revealed their emails, divorce drafts from a year prior, a carefully orchestrated scheme to ruin me. Accusations of emotional absence, financial dominance, and parental shortcomings, all scripted, every tear rehearsed. That evening, I sipped whiskey and made a silent resolve. They could win the battle, but I'd claim the war. I moved deliberately. Patience became my strength. I replaced our financial planner with one loyal to me, funneling shared assets into trusts for the children, legally secure and out of her grasp. Then, I created a shadow corporation, a parallel to my main business, quietly transferring operations, contracts, and intellectual property. By the time she filed, the shared company was an empty husk. But my greatest asset wasn't money, it was truth. Lydia bore the burden of her mother's hidden past, a topic she avoided when pressed. Intrigued, I investigated and uncovered a revelation. Her father, Raymond, wasn't her biological father. Her mother, at 19, had been a housekeeper for a prominent senator. A concealed scandal. Hush payments, falsified documents, a secret 25 years old. The senator, still in power, still married, remained a public figure. I hadn't planned to use it until she launched her assault. The day before my birthday, I prepared the envelope, documents, photos, a sworn statement from the senator's former aide, enough to topple reputations. I knew her lawyer's curiosity would overcome him. He'd open it, read it, and panic. Then she'd receive her copy, and the pieces would fall. By 6 p.m. they did. My phone buzzed incessantly. First, her mother's voice, trembling with desperation. "How did you uncover our disgrace?" Then Lydia, followed by silence. I imagined her, pale and shaken, her lawyer pacing, realizing the stakes, the affair laid bare, her family's history shattered, the senator's influence destroyed. I said nothing. The truth spoke for itself. The next morning, she arrived at the house she believed she'd take. Her eyes were swollen, her makeup smudged. "You've ruined my life," she whispered. "No," I replied calmly. "You ruined mine first. I simply leveled the field." She threatened to ensure I'd lose the children. I smiled. "You can't take what chooses to remain." I handed her the custody agreement, already signed by our children, who had chosen me of their own will. She sank onto the sofa, trembling. "How long have you orchestrated this?" she asked. "Since you stopped looking me in the eye," I replied. By the end of the week, her lawyer had withdrawn, her mother had gone quiet, the senator had stepped down, and Lydia had left the city. No goodbye, no closure, just absence. Some called it luck. I called it strategy. On my 46th birthday, I woke to calm, no chaos, no legal battles, no deceit. Only my daughter's laughter from the kitchen. I poured coffee, stood by the window, and watched the sunrise set the skyline ablaze. I'd lost a marriage, yes, but I'd gained something sharper. Control. People confuse revenge with rage. It's not. It's patience with a smile. That envelope wasn't retribution. It was justice, delivered quietly. And sometimes, quiet is the most resounding truth of all.